In Kazakh, an infinitive clause is a type of subordinate or dependent clause that is dependent upon its main clause and cannot stand alone. The infinitive clauses are formed using the infinitive suffix u, indicating purpose, results, or condition of the action in the main clause. For example, ол келуге қосылды. She or he agreed to come. In this video, we will learn how to build and use infinitive clauses in Kazakh. An infinitive clause is a subordinate clause whose predicate is in the infinitive form u. The infinitive clause is called a clause because it can have clausal elements such as subjects and predicates. It is a subordinate clause because it cannot stand alone by itself, so it needs a main clause. As a result, a sentence containing an infinitive clause has two predicates, since it has two clauses, an infinitive clause and a main clause. Let's see an example. Sen Asan'ı шақыруды unutma. Please don't forget to invite Asan. This sentence has a main clause, sen unutma, you don't forget, and an infinitive clause, Asan'ı шақыруды, to invite Asan. The infinitive clause has its own predicate, шақыруды, and a direct object, Asan'dı, and its predicate, шақыруды, comprises the verbal stem, шақыр, to invite, the infinitive suffix u, and the accusative case, dı, and its direct object, Asan'dı, is in the accusative case, dı, who receives the action of the verb шақыр. Infinitive clauses can have various components depending on the context and the complexity of the sentences. The first and foremost, having a predicate that takes an infinitive form u, and the case suffix is a core value of the infinitive clauses. In addition, infinitive clauses can have a direct object, a noun or pronoun, which receives the action of the verb. For example, мен кітап оқуды ұнатамын. I like reading books. Here, the infinitive clause is кітап оқуды, to read books, in which кітап, book, is the direct object of the infinitive clause, and оқуды, to read, is the predicate. The predicate оқуды takes the infinitive u and the accusative case dı. Apart from having a predicate and the direct object, infinitive clauses can have an adjective or an adverb. These words modify the verb or direct object of the infinitive clauses, providing additional information about the action. For example, мен бұл кітапты қайдан алуды білемін. I know where to buy this book. Here, the infinitive clause бұл кітапты қайдан алуды contains a demonstrative pronoun бұл, this, and an adverb қайдан, from where. Ол бізді дереу қайтуға зорлады. She forced us to go back immediately. Here, the infinitive clause бізді дереу қайтуға contains an direct object, бізді, and an adverb дереу, quickly. Concerning the question when to use infinitive clauses, it depends on the main verb or the verb used as the main predicate. That is, some verbs need infinitive clauses as their direct or indirect objects. Such verbs include қосыл, to agree, баста, to start, аяқта, to finish, тіле, to wish, аңса, to long for, үміт ет, to hope, құлшын, to strive for, қыста or зорла, to force, бұйыр, to order, жақсы көр, to like, қала, to like or to want, жоспарла, to plan, ескерт, to remind, ұмыт, to forget, and so on. Let's see some examples of main verbs taking infinitive clauses. Мен дене шынықтыруды жақсы көремін. I like to work out. Біз сенің сау болуыңды тілейміз. We wish you to be healthy. Ular tekshiruvni to'xtatdi. They ceased to investigate. Ular bizga erta keluvni eskertdi. They reminded us to come early. Men Kazakh tilin yaxshi o'rganishga qo'shinaman. I'm striving to learn Kazakh well. Infinitive clauses, as mentioned above, can serve various functions within a sentence. They can act as direct objects, indirect objects, or subjects, providing essential information and clarifying the purpose of the other words in the sentences. Now, we will explore these three functions in more detail, including examples to better understand their usage and application. When an infinitive clause functions as a direct object, it stands right before the main predicate, providing more information about it. To recognize when an infinitive clause is functioning as a direct object, look at the verbs right before the main predicate to see if the verb is in the infinitive form U and in the accusative case. If so, then the infinitive clause is acting as a direct object. Here are several examples illustrating the use of infinitive clauses as direct objects. Hukumat kelar yili xalq turmusini yaxshilatishni josparladi. The government's planned to improve people's lives next year. Men senimen birga boruvni qalamayman. I don't want to go with you. G'alimlar zerttevni boshlab ketdi. The scientists started to research. Qaytarda do'kondan non oluvni unutma. Don't forget to buy bread in the shop when you return. Men shini juvuvni jik ko'raman. I hate washing dishes. The infinitive clauses can function as indirect objects, providing a reason or purpose, or more information about the action or state being described. A common feature of infinitive clauses as indirective objects is that their predicates take the infinitive U and the dative case. Here are some examples highlighting the use of infinitive clauses as indirect objects in sentences. Men Kazakhstanga Kazakh tilin o'rganishga boraman. I am going to Kazakhstan to learn Kazakh. Men Germaniyaga жұмыс istewga keldim. I came to Germany to work. Biz mіндетті vaqtida bitiruvga tirishamiz. We try to finish the work on time. Ol bizni shay ishga chaqirdi. She invited us to drink tea. Infinitive clauses can function as subjects in a sentence. When used in this way, they often appear at the beginning of the sentence and their predicates only takes the infinitive U without any case markers. Let's see some examples where the infinitive clauses serve as subjects. Dunyoni aralov ko'pdegan odamlarning armoni. To travel around the world is a goal for many people. Bir chet el tilin o'rganuv ko'p vaqtni qajrat etadi. Learning a foreign language requires a lot of time. Uni ko'ndiruv o'ta qiyin. Persuading him or her is very difficult. Today we have learned about the infinitive clauses in Kazakh. By correctly identifying and using infinitive clauses in your sentences, you can improve the clarity and the precision of your Kazakh communication. As you practice identifying and incorporating these clauses, you will become more comfortable with their usage and structures, leading to enhanced language skills. I hope you liked the video and thank you for watching.